So unless you haven't been paying attention, 3D is going to be the next big thing in television, and it's really about lifelike, dramatic presentation of content. It's got a whole new language, and it looks amazing. If you've seen a 3D movie, you know what we're talking about. But we're going to look at today what we need to make 3D a success and how it works. And we need content. We need blockbuster movies, we need documentaries, we need video games, all the things we watch on TV right now we need to have in 3D for it to really get full mass market acceptance. As well, we need the home technology that gives us the best picture and distribution methods that are convenient for us. So as many different ways as we get content now, we want to be able to get content in 3D that way as well. We already have a lot of cinematic 3D. A lot of the people watching this will have seen 3D movies like Avatar and The Christmas Carol and looking forward to new ones like Alice in Wonderland. If you look at the actual number of theaters, we have theaters all over the world. Sony Pictures partners with Real D in order to give us lots of great quality movie theater presentations, and in Canada there's 164 Real D enabled theaters that go across the country. Here's a picture of a projector setup where you have one projector for each eye using Sony projectors in the Real D system. And when you're shooting it, the traditional cameras we've brought for cinematographers use two lenses, one for each eye. And you can do some great things with this rig in terms of changing the distance between the eyes to create new effects, but everything has to be done in perfect synchronization. And for a lot of applications, this is really too complex and too expensive, and you have to keep it aligned. If you do a zoom and one lens is slightly out, the shot will be lost because you won't be able to put it back together when you watch it in 3D. So continuing on the production, Sony's been making these cameras for years now. We're introducing a new single lens high definition high frame rate camera. And what's great here is the lens, one of the most expensive parts of the camera. We're using a single lens moving to two sensors. This allows us to make a more compact body that's usable in more situations. So you think about shooting sports and shooting documentaries and going into small places and people doing indie films and ultimately even your home video cameras. This kind of a technology needs to be developed to get that content everywhere. In the theater, primarily we're using passive glasses. They're less expensive. If people walk out with them, it's not really an issue. So we can either have a two projector setup, each one with a different polarizing filter, so you see the left image from the left projector and the right image from the right projector. There is a active polarizing filter that Real D has developed to allow you to use a single projector, again making it more economical to get 3D into more theaters. You can also have an active shutter system in the theater where you have glasses that cover each eye alternately so that you only see the image you're supposed to see on the right and left side to give you 3D. One of the disadvantages of this system is that you have to wear essentially sunglasses while you're watching, so you really have to up the brightness, which makes the bulbs not last as long, and there's some other technical issues as well. Basically, in terms of your vivid color and contrast, you have to adjust for that with the glasses. Using a polarized system in a home environment, most technologies put a polarizing layer over the screen so you see an alternate odd lines for the left eye and even lines for the right eye. And so as you're looking at the image, instead of being a 1920 by 1080 full high definition picture, each eye is only seeing a 540 line image. So your resolution is really dropped. There's issues in terms of the brightness, maintaining your contrast, and also being able to have that full high resolution image right there on the screen. Working with 2D as well is a bit of an issue. If you look at the camera setup here and you see 8 different points of acquisition, and you think about the trouble you have just working with two and keeping those in sync and the kind of camera rig you'd need, this is just not possible to have that production and build the content capacity. The lenticular lens is also very particular about where you're actually standing and viewing. A lot of times when you see demos for this, it'll be computer graphics. There won't be a broad color palette. There won't necessarily be live action because it just doesn't hold up as well. So this glasses free concept is really in the R&D stage. It's not ready for bringing it into television displays. This brings us to the active shutter system, which is the one Sony is employing. So you get an infrared signal from the TV to the glasses, and the glasses alternate, shutting off the left eye and the right eye, showing you each frame that you're supposed to see in quick sequence. This gives you a very strong separation, and we use the 240 hertz panels to maximize that, so we'll get 2 images on the left eye, 2 images on the right eye, and then we move forward to the next frame. So it allows us to have really good separation, which is all about the comfortable viewing. We've partnered with RealD to make comfortable glasses that give the maximum experience. We block out the light from the top and the sides, which is critical to a better viewing. We have adjustable arms that allow you to put it on a smaller head. The power button is on the side here. Automatically turns off when it's not receiving a signal after a certain period of time, and the sensor's right there on the front. And finally, distribution. You need to be able to get content all the ways you get it right now. Broadcaster, satellite, cable, over the network and over internet. Disc packaged media such as 3D Blu-ray discs, 3D games will be playable on the PS3. The PS3 will be upgradable. If you have a PS3, it will be upgraded for games and then a follow-up update for movies. So it will be ready. You will need a 3D television. We will need to pass a lot more video data through the HDMI. So if you do have a Blu-ray player and you want to do 3D Blu-ray, you'll have to upgrade that player. And the glasses and 3D television will be packaged together, and you will be able to get extra glasses as well. So looking forward to 3D, Sony's moving forward with content in terms of building the cameras, the infrastructure, and also starting a new institute to help content creators create great new 3D content. We have the home technology with active shutters that's ready to give you full high-definition broadcasts, 3D movies, and 3D games on current technology with active shutter lenses that looks fantastic, and distribution methods that can go through every way we get content now. 3D content is going to be very excited in 2010, and Sony's going to be bringing the full solution